Fwrd Axis News, Future and Balance.
Welcome to Fwrd Axis Live, a Fwrd Axis news production, bringing you the latest stories in the worlds of news, sports, politics, and entertainment. Fwrd Axis News, Future and Balance.
Welcome to Fwrd Axis Live. I'm your host, Stephen Michael.
And I'm Jäger.
And we are here to discuss the Thursday night edition of Big Brother, a 2-hour live event that really didn't need to be 2 hours.
It was an hour too long. It was an hour too long. Let's all admit it. It was too, they really stretched it out.
They did. And Ty, we're going to get to everything that happened because when Julie said it was going to be a jam-packed episode, oh boy, it was definitely a jam-packed episode. It is the biggest, I think, not the biggest twist in Big Brother history, but it is the biggest mid-season twist that we have seen on this show in 24 seasons. There's a lot to get, so let's dive right into it. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Again, that was too long. I thought one pina colada would get me through the episode. No, it did not. It was not enough. It was a loss I would say for casuals. It was a good episode in terms of catching them up with a lot of stuff that happened.
Yes.
But for live feeders, it was stuff that we mostly already knew. Outside some veto competition, outside some diary room stuff. Is a lot of stuff that we already knew as live feeders. But for the casuals, I think this was a really good episode because it jam-packed a lot of like good stuff within it. Like a lot of funny stuff I think that was entertaining.
Yeah. So we're going to get to all that first of all. But first, we got to talk about the audience. The audience is back after what feels like 30 years. They're finally back. Did you like? Okay, here's the thing. I actually enjoyed not having the audience there the whole time, to be honest. I got used to it.
See, I enjoy the audience. I like the reactions. And then once you do get evictions like Kyle, you're going to get the really good audience reactions.
I'm glad you said that. Speaking of which, okay, so I had people tweeting me, Steven, the audience doesn't boo. They don't boo in America. I don't remember them booing. I remember they booed Aaron, who was from Texas State, who completely just destroyed Texas as a country whenever she was on for. I don't know if you saw that season, but
they booed what was her name? She had glasses, long hair, and she pretty much had a fiance outside the house, and she was having she was flirting a lot.
What season?
This was 15 on one of the seasons.
I
don't remember.
I'll have to look.
I remember there was some booze there, and then you also had booze for damn it, what's her name? Big Brother 10? It was Rachel's season.
Rachel, okay, yeah, you definitely.
No, it wasn't Rachel. It wasn't Rachel, but it was during her season. I forgot. There's been booze before. At the top of my head, I can't remember, but there's been booze before.
Yeah. Okay. So, but my point is, it's very rare. I will say that it's pretty rare in America to get booze. As you know, I'm a huge lover of Big Brother UK. As you know this. So I sent you a clip earlier this afternoon. Well, actually, I'm lying. It was more like 10 minutes ago because I forgot. But I mean,
I like that you try to protect yourself. I wasn't going to say anything, but you go ahead and out yourself. You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we're all about honesty and transparency at Fwrd Axis. I'm going to keep it honest even with myself. So we mentioned Kyle on this show repeatedly, the things going on that he's been doing in the house that's not been received well by the fans, which CBS did touch on tonight, which we're going to get to as we recap the episode. But we talk about the fans, we talk about the reaction, we talk about the crowd. I thought that's a perfect segue. If Kyle was in the UK, he would have heard something like this. Now play this clip for us. It's
time to talk to the house.
I love it about camera. This is a video from me.
Yeah.
Big Brother house, this is Emma. Stephen.
What were they saying about?
So you couldn't tell what they were saying.
I couldn't tell with all the British accents going on.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't tell with the whole audience. I heard Steven, but I couldn't tell what the rest they were saying.
Yes, which is awkward because I am Steven. Not that Steven, but I am Steven. So it is awkward for me to say this.
It's nice. It's not spelled the same way.
It actually is spelled the same way over there. So here's the thing. Backstory real fast. On that season, the guy Steven, as you see in the show, he was in a relationship in the house with a girl named Kimberly. That Kimberly left the house because she got pregnant, or allegedly pregnant. And the thing is, they had sex in the house like Kyle and Alyssa have, but it wasn't 10 seconds, it was 2 seconds.
Ooh.
So...
No, they were calling...
2 seconds, Steven, yeah.
That's...
So if this was the UK, Kyle would be called 10-second Kyle, I guarantee you.
The UK, I will say, some of the best like fan bases of like sports in terms of just energy, and it just applies to Big Brother. I love it. I love this. Yeah. And they were I just love the dramatic camera on the host. Yeah. It was very dramatic, and I loved it.
Yeah, so I will tell you this right now. Maybe that's enticing enough to get you to watch Big Brother UK. Just that
You're
crowd
just trying
reaction
to do
alone.
anything in your power to get me to start watching a Big Brother in a different country.
I am.
I don't blame you, but you're trying really hard.
I am. By September 25th, when the season finale of our Big Brother airs, I'm hoping to convert you fully. Because my goodness, they got a lot of stuff. Start binging. They got a lot of good ones on there. Okay, so enough of our funny banter. Let's get into the episode. As I said, this did not need to be 2 hours, but let's just jump into it. As we said on our Monday/Tuesday episode, whenever it came out, Kyle won the veto, as we mentioned. He was trying to save Alyssa, his showman / ex-partner, whatever you want to call her at this point. And Taylor was pretty much fuming because during the veto competition, which we saw on Wednesday's episode, she was upset and getting a little petty, in my opinion, over Alyssa took her London trip. Now, I've never been to London. I would love to go there at some point in my life before I die. But is that a legit reason to get upset if you are Taylor?
I think so, because as a result, you got a punishment. Now, it wasn't like a horrible punishment or anything, but it's like, also, I don't want to be, first off, let's talk about that punishment real quick of pretty much Sid and Nancy of like the original book. Nancy got killed in that.
She did.
Now she was in the whole thing. She was actually high on drugs and asking for it. It's a whole weird thing. It's very interesting in the first place, but I would not want to be in that twist as Nancy, knowing that I would be murdered.
Or Skid if you killed himself.
Jesus. While overdosing. Jesus Christ. That's such a morbid. I get it why, but man. No, but I would hate that you had a chance to first you get a prize. And I want to say Kyle said it, you could have gone for the veto. And if you won that round, you should have gone for the veto and not taken the head of household's reward that would have given them a punishment in return. And like Taylor laid it out, Monty laid it out, and like Wednesday's episode, it made sense. And honestly, after being cooped up in a house, not knowing where I'm going to place in the end, I would want to come away with something at the least, because you don't know if you're going to come away with America's favorite household or with the runner-up or grand prize. So I want to at least know midway through the game, I got something out of this.
Yes, exactly. And just for those of you guys listening right now, Ty, as we all know, we're going to get to the twist later, but we're just letting you know and letting everyone else know. The split is currently going on right now. We're not seeing it because the feeds are off, and by the time we are done filming this, or recording this, Ty, they will still be off. They're not coming back till 1 o'clock our time, which is 11 o'clock in California. So by the time we're done recording this, I will be on Twitter refreshing the feeds like crazy to see who is split with who. We're going to get to all the splitting and even our predictions on how this is going to go a little bit later on. But just like Julie said, but first, we have to get to the rest of this. So after
hold on. Remember when whenever she would do the but first, and they would always do the hashtag? I'm like, that's the dumbest hashtag. Stop it.
They're trying to make it a thing. It didn't work. And by the way, speaking of hashtags, Big Brother 24, like the actual spelled out Big Brother 24 is trending right now on Twitter. The casuals can't even get the hashtag right. I'm sorry. I love you guys. But just
Big
follow.
Brother, and everyone doesn't know what BB means. I don't blame them.
And also, I mean, it shows people are watching. Anyways, so getting back to it real quickly, we had the fake fight that Taylor went to the source room. He should have used the effing veto. I
kinda-
thought it was going to be more better than that.
So when we saw that, because we didn't see anything on the feeds, we just knew that there was a Taylor blew up and she said it, but I didn't know it was fake, and I'm kind of okay with it being fake because again they're in an alliance, so they still gotta be buddy, but they also I like the Taylor's thinking ahead of playing the illusion that they are not working together in a way, or that she's upset with him. While Kyle said that was dumb, I thought it was smart on Taylor's part.
Yeah, I agree. And, it was good. It was a very good idea. And I'm sorry if I'm not like 100% responding quick enough. I'm actually reading the timeline as I'm talking to you, so I'm doing two different things.
How dare
and laughing.
you read the timeline through our podcast recording as I have it on this? I have 3 screens. I have you on the middle screen. I have the setup that's filming all this on the right, and then on the left I do have Twitter. I will admit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and some of the reactions are just funny as hell. I won't say because it will spoil things later on. But whenever we get to that section, I will read some of them because they're hilarious. But anyway, so that happened, and then we see the Kyle thing. We see the fluff of what's going on, but we see the Kyle situation finally get unfolded on CBS. Everything that Fwrd Axis has been exclusively writing about, and I say exclusively because no other outlet that I know has written about this extensively like we have. I'm not going to say we're the reason why that CBS decided to address this, but I like to give us credit for it. So here's the thing, though.
We'll take that credit, damn it.
Yes, we will. I don't know, and here's the thing. I don't necessarily like how they did it because the first half of the first 25-ish minutes when they didn't address it, we saw Kyle saying, "You know what? No, I didn't know this plan about putting up Alyssa. I didn't know this plan about doing this. Another crazy Taylor plan. I bet you her and Monty are involved, or her, Monty, and Joseph are involved. Blah blah." The way that show was edited tonight made it look like Kyle is going to turn against the leftovers because of the fact Monty, Joseph, and Taylor are kind of working this thing, or alliance, or threesome, or whatever word you want to use, against Kyle and Alyssa. And that's not how it went. The truth of the matter is, we have it timestamped on FwrdAxis.com. You guys can go look at it right now, and I apologize if I seem like I'm getting heated about this, because I am, because you need to be truthful and transparent. And the truth is, the way it happened, August 5th, Mike was HOH, Kyle is up in that HOH room, saying, "I think there's a cookout scenario," which we saw in the flashbacks. We did see that in the flashbacks tonight. That happened before this Taylor to put up Alyssa plan. That happened before. And then a situation where we saw Brittany talking about the optics. Mike was talking about the optics. Let's just be real. You and I have talked about this. Production got in their ear. Production in the diary room told Michael and Brittany, "Hey, this is how it looks. This may not be what Kyle is intending, but this is how it looks." And Kyle, in the bathroom with Brittany tells him, "Hey, the optics of this don't look like that. I don't think that these people are working together because this and this and this." But yet Kyle still pushed back on it and then finally backed off. So what did you make of all that?
So in terms of editing, I think production kind of got themselves in the first part of the edit, with Kyle pretty much letting out, and the edit can, like you said, can be pretty deceiving in terms of it looks like these three. Like, I'm not sure I took that way, but again, I'm a live feeder, so I don't know. My bias or my previous knowledge already. Hey,
I'm a live feeder too, but I mean, if you were not, you would have to think, oh well, just by the edit. If you were just a TV show watcher, you would think, hey, Kyle is upset because Taylor, Monty, and Joseph are going against his girlfriend and want to put his girlfriend up. But that's not how it happened.
Guess it's a challenge for me, I guess, at least watching some of these episodes, having that knowledge, because I don't. You do a good job of kind of turning off your previous knowledge and kind of looking at it as if it's a new viewer. I struggle with that, so I think that's where at least my perception of it kind of is just a little is messed up, because I just didn't realize that because I'm not looking at that perspective. But when you look at it production-wise, they're trying to go in a chronological timeline order in terms of he was thinking this before the veto meeting, then they had the veto meeting, and then the additional stuff comes up, and that's where they're able to frame it within a timeline, if that makes sense. And also, yeah. I just want to say, I called it on the flashback, didn't I? I called it.
You did.
So
you did.
I knew that once it was going to come up, they were going to use that flashback. And But I think with the order of how everything was placed within the edit, first off, I think was just because how timing it worked out. And like you said, the edit probably gave too much credit to Kyle, I would say. And I don't think credit's the right word, but gives them too much benefit of the doubt in a way.
Yeah, I would agree because, I mean, I'll just be honest. It looks like they're still protecting him in that sense of, oh, he didn't really mean what it looks like. But I'm sorry, if you're a live feed viewer like you and I have been through, I mean, me more so than you. I know you started watching a little bit later than I did. I'm literally watching it from as much as I can between work and other shows, and I watched until they go to bed. Sometimes I don't because they go to bed at crazy hours. But the point is that the way it happened is not the way the show perceived it, which is on August 5th. It happened, like I said, Kyle was up there in the HOH, bring up the cookout. Then again, a couple of days ago, over the weekend, which we had that article trending again, he again brought up the cookout situation. Then production talked. I know production talked to Michael in the diary room. There's no doubt in my mind that happened. And also Kyle, because Kyle was expressing remorse a little bit. I apologize if I said anything here that's I've offended people. I didn't mean to do that, whatever. Production talked to them. And yet it didn't come across that way. I mean, obviously you don't want people to know production talk to them, but I mean, it still came across like you're right. They're giving Kyle the benefit of the doubt when he clearly knew what he was doing 2 times, 3 times. He knows what he's doing at that point.
Yeah, and I would say I think Michael and Brittany, while production may give them a heads up in terms of this is how it's kind of being perceived, I think it is genuine between those two. It's like, yeah, I don't want to play that kind of game with that type of optic. I think that is genuine, but also production might be helpful in this sense to let them realize, yeah, the outside's kind of not liking this. They're kind of seeing it in this way. Just give you guys a heads up. I think that's sometimes a necessary thing to happen because they might not realize that's how everyone is thinking. I don't think, like, as we always say, how do some of these people not realize that there's a 7-man alliance going on? It's like, it's probably the same thing in terms of they don't know. I don't think they're aware of how their words are being perceived or being construed amongst the public. And I think sometimes having production kind of give them a heads up that might be helpful for them in that aspect.
Yeah. So let's, to the people, to everyone listening, first of all, thank you to every single person who retweeted us, who, quoted us, who kind of helped us get the word out, as well as everyone in the Big Brother community who listens to us and also who kind of got the word out, because I'm going to give us Fwrd Axis credit for getting the word out and having CBS kind of, and the Big Brother fans, of course. But to the fans, if you guys have an opinion on this, tweet us at Fwrd Axis Live. Let us know what you think. Did CBS do a good enough job to kind of cover their butts a little bit of what's been going on? Let us know. But speaking of covering their butts, or maybe not covering their butts so much, Terrence didn't cover his butt apparently good enough. In the tattoo punishment, you're laughing hard, and that was the intention. So yeah, he did not cover his butt enough. Okay, I don't know if you saw it on the feeds. You were lucky if you didn't, my friend. Okay, I saw it in all its glory, and I do not need to see that again.
Guys, it's just a butt. Come on.
It is, but it looked like a meatloaf that wasn't cooked the right way. So I'm thinking, all right, this is what's happening. I think we lost Ty, people. We lost Ty. So that's what's going on. I mean, okay, I will say this. I think that tattoo segment went on a little too long.
Again, I felt like they had... So going into this 2 hours, I think they had an idea, and it changed midway through the week. And they're like, oh... How are we going to fill this 2 hours up? Let's stretch this all out as much as we can. Let's show Terrence doing this tattoo thing as much as possible. Let's go ahead and let's ask the house guests some questions and just really take a whole segment on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then didn't you notice that they let Indy go on? They didn't stop her. It's like they're like, oh, thank God Indy's going on longer than she should. Thank the Lord. We need to fill this time.
Yes. So, it was nuts. The one thing I do want to get to real fast, 2 things. First off, speaking of Indy, her iconic, very iconic performance of what was it, punk or rock
Oh
or
no, please no, please no. I'm not even reminded of that.
I
I'm glad that they gave him a real drum set. I'm glad that they gave him it sounded like a guitar that actually had an amp to it. But man,
Punkaroo. It was Punkaroo. Now I'm not Princess to David, our producer. Let's make that the Fwrd Axis live theme song.
I vote to elect no. I'm vetoing this. I'm using my veto power on this.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was fun. But then, the very fun part of Jasmine's birthday. Now, I know you were not up for this. I watched it live. And dude, let me tell you,
put yourself through this? Why?
Because I knew that was going to be part of the show. I need some context. I will say, I watched it in between episodes of a show I'm watching, so I did not get a chance to actually go through all of it. First of all, the cake was made by Indy. I don't know if Indy hates Jasmine, but what kind of hell cake was that? First of all. And then Jasmine had the bright idea. Let's go around the room and name one thing that you like about me.
That says it is like, if you haven't already gotten the message with Jasmine this whole season, this episode and that scene should paint the picture for you that you need to know that there is an ego with that girl. I'm sorry, but she is very egotistical. She's very self-obsessed, and she is self-centered. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I would. Let me ask you, did you notice something about tonight's episode with Jasmine, other than the fact that she is self-centered, obnoxious, and very annoying?
There's no boot this time. There was no squeak. I'm disappointed that I didn't get a squeak sound effect. I'm so disappointed.
She's magically healed. I'm just as shocked as you are. Whatever she's taking for medicine, I want some of that too. But there was something else. When Indy was doing her performance, you had Jasmine eating some chips. Then there's another scene where Jasmine's putting away some cookies. Every scene this girl is eating. Every scene this girl is eating. Every freaking scene.
Now, granted, we see Taylor eat like chips almost every other scene.
True. But here's the thing. I don't think Taylor hides food because, spoiler alert, you may not know this. I don't know if you saw this.
I caught this.
You did, okay. So yes, Turner found the stash of hidden food, brought it up to Taylor's HOH and dumped it on the bed, and it's like bread, some chips.
Was it the baked Lays or the flavored
baked Lays? Yeah. I'm thinking, well, is it clearly we know who the food addict is in the house? But anyways, and then the other thing. I'm trying to contain myself. Okay, anything else you need to add to this Jasmine situation?
No, all right. So I think the production's kind of fed up with her a bit because they would not do this if it wasn't bothering them or was annoying them. I feel so bad for Turner. He's pushing through it, but he's also having fun with it. Now I can see some people say, "Oh, this is bullying." It's like not real. Like compared to the Taylor stuff, that was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
With Jasmine, it's kind of warranted. Let's just say that. It's like it's just like with the self-centeredness, the ego that she puts on, and just literally begging. Not begging, telling her fellow house guests to say some nice things about her. It's like you're just asking for it. You're asking for Turner to eat a part of your muffin, to tell you not to pop a balloon, not to release a balloon into the air from the plastic because of the plastic, and to purposely put a slice of cake with your face on it at the center of the table that you probably can't reach for.
Yeah. Never again.
You're asking for it.
Never again say Turner wants to eat a part of your muffin. Never say that again. But I mean, okay. Speaking of eating muffins, what the casuals may not have known from tonight's episode, we mentioned it on our last episode, which people got a kick out of, with the whole going to Squeak Town for Kyle and Alyssa. What they may not know, it happened a second time, Ty.
All right, I don't need to know anymore. We're done. We're done.
No. We're not going to get to that part. It's what happened afterwards, after they were done. And people on Twitter were laughing after it was over. Kyle was like, you know, you want to be my girlfriend?
Oh no, and they did show that in the episode.
They did.
I will admit, I
They
tuned out during that part of the episode, and I just was not paying attention on purpose. That was the episode. That was the part of the episode I was like, let me go refill my drink. Let me go do something else.
Yeah, no. So what people may not know is that a second sexual fun, or what you want to call it, that happened again. Why do they always choose the have-not room? I don't understand why they're choosing the have-not room on a damn floating.
Well, Brittany said it best. It's the one place that you can't hear the rest.
True.
That's like Brittany made that room a sanctuary from Indy's music, and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
But it's the one room that's kind of out of the way. You have to go. You can't just barge in randomly. Because you don't have to go down a hallway too to get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's you have soundproofing. It's a bit isolated, and you got time to, I guess, pull up your pants if you hear one of the doors open.
True. And just for this, and everybody's dying to know. Ty, I know you're dying to know.
Oh God.
It was also 10 seconds. And
are you shitting me? I'm sorry if you're gonna edit that out, but are you shitting me?
You can leave it in. I guarantee you it was 10 seconds. And it's not. This is not graphic. I promise this is not graphic. It's not graphic. I swear. This is exactly the transcript from what Kyle said, and it was on camera. And because we can't play this, because I'm pretty sure that, one, I don't think you would enjoy it. But here's exactly what he said, and I quote. It says here, before Kyle leaves, Kyle says to Alyssa, "I'm sorry, it was only 10 seconds. I'm not very." Yeah.
He did not say that.
He did.
He did not say that.
I'm gonna send you the link after this, and you're gonna watch it.
Bullshit. He did not say that.
He did. Oh, I said it.
Okay.
Would you like to?
I'm sorry. For anyone that's listening to this with kids in the car or something like that, I'm so sorry, but bullshit.
Would you like to play the audio for the viewers? Would you like to do that?
No, that will take too much time for me to grab.
Take my word for it. Take my word for it.
I'll take your word for it, but I'm still calling bullshit in half of this.
He says, "I'm sorry it was 10 seconds, but," he says, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at sex, but I like having sex with you, and I hope you like having sex with me too." Yeah. And just for argument's sake, I'm going to send to you personally this audio right now, and you can look at it when we're done recording.
Look
and
at
you
my
can
Twitter, I guess, and I'm going to...
Yes, I just sent it to your Twitter. You can look, and whenever you're done, listen to the audio, and he whispers. So, make sure you really listen to it. And also, for someone who wrote, it says his post-sex game talk is weak. Is he 15 or 28?
I'm telling you, I think we talked about it, and then I saw someone else on Twitter that he's from Utah. He's had a Mormon growing up. I guess he was raised Mormon. So he comes off as that sheltered kid, and it just every day further, it just confirms that.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, because I assure you, we're going to talk more about Kyle and Alyssa when we come to the twist talk. I just can guarantee you this.
Oh, I guarantee you are. So let's get right to the eviction. I don't think we need to talk about anything else, unless you want to go through something I may have missed.
No, I think we're good.
All right, let's go right to the eviction. And shocker, Indy goes home. I mean, I think we
no
all
way. I was not expecting this. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Well, not really.
Yeah, exactly. She goes home. I honestly don't know what the hell she was telling the house at the end there. Something along the lines of, like, I want to see the right person win, and if the wrong person wins, I'm going to be sad. I don't know who she is to make that judgment of who the right person is, but whatever. She is on the jury, so she does have a judgment call, but yeah. She does the interview with Julie. Julie does not reveal anything because obviously she is on the jury. Indy's on the jury, not Julie. And in the goodbye messages, Michael takes it upon himself to reveal the leftovers, not the name. I don't think he said the name, but he did mention the people that were in it. Indy says she was not surprised, but I call BS because the look on her face did look surprised.
So far, the past 3 house guests have said this, that have been evicted, that, like, oh, here was this group, and they're like, It's like you could see a slight face of shock on Daniel, on Nicole, and but Indy gave the game away. That was a pure good reaction face right there. But it's like I think they are slightly aware, like Indy said. Like they're again, we saw it with it. I told you this in the DMs. The group was literally in the backyard. Around the billiards
Pool
table.
Yeah.
Doing the most obvious alliance meeting I could ever think of. If you want to give up your alliance, it's let's all crowd around this pool table and talk game at a normal volume, not locked in a room or anything. Anyone can walk outside at any chance, but we don't care. We're just going to talk game at a pretty loud volume. So let's go, gang. So it's like I could see that and again, the leftovers spend a lot of time with each other. So I can see why they might not be completely surprised or shocked by it. But also, you're still giving us some BS in terms of you honestly didn't know, or else you would have said something.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I wrote you back as well. I was like, hey, we never said they were smart people in the house. Let's just be honest, okay? We never said they were smart. Like, okay, I will say this. I know you didn't see it last season, but the Cookout did a very good job of hiding the alliance. Because what they did, and I think you know this already, but in case you don't, I'm just going to say it, they put one of their alliance members with someone from the other side. So there was always someone with someone else, so that way you would never suspect anything. And it worked because all 6 of them made it to the end. I don't see that happening with the leftovers, mainly because of this twist that's coming up we're going to talk about.
Now, Joseph's playing a good game where he's truly deceiving both sides. I won't say he's deceiving the leftover side because he's not really doing that, but he's deceiving the 5 swatters over there.
Which, by the way, I should go and tell you right now, the 5 swatters, it was never a thing, as you know. And now the whole house knows at this point live right now that the 5 swatters was Indy's idea, even though it was really Jasmine's idea. The only one that knows it was Jasmine's idea is Alyssa and Joseph and basically all the leftovers. So that's what's going on there. So a lot of what's happening today in the house is going to play into this twist, which I think we should talk about the head of household competition first, because it was good to see. It was good to see a live head of household competition on TV for once instead of waiting for the Sunday episode. It was okay. Now I'll be honest. I wear contacts, which I don't think is a shocking to anybody.
No way.
Most people. Yeah, I know. I could not see the damn people on that little board. Okay.
So I love.
I would have lost.
I love doing those competitions because I can play myself. And I think with the first or second one, I was like, I saw it right away. I'm like, hit B, whatever one it was. I'm like, boys, no one hit it B. I can see this. And I'm like, come on. Yeah. But it's like, you could see them doing like.
Yeah, I was one of those people. Like, where is it? Where I couldn't even see. And like Nicole was right there. I think I couldn't see it.
I will say the one I think it was Michael that got one that was the space one where Daniel is very small and you can barely see the helmet. I'm like, damn. And he got that one quick, and I was really surprised by that one.
Yeah. So we go through the competition, and it's one of those knockout ones, so you pick 2 people to face off. I was very surprised to see if there's anything given away. There really wasn't that much given away in this competition. We go right to the end, and Julie did say, the 2 people, the final 2 are the head of household. It's just a matter of who gets to be inside, who gets to be outside. So surprisingly enough, Terrence, Mr. Tattoos, is the HOH. He's going to be outside. Michael wins the competition, so he'll be inside. And first of all, how do you feel about these 2 HOHs?
So, again, I'm Team Michael. I have the bias. Again, I think doesn't he win? He has the most competition wins now, doesn't he?
He does. That's why he's an idiot for winning, because guess what? Once this twist is over, you're gonna be the main target now.
Yeah, like you'd be the main target, but at least you survive double eviction, because this going into this twist with the split house, this is the most everyone is at risk. Whether it be leftovers or not, you're at risk. And the only way that you really have true safety is as a head of household. So while you're going to be a target while eviction, I think everyone still has their other targets that they are going after. For we know that most likely going to target Monty of all people. Terrence wants to target Monty, I believe, too, and then you also have other people most likely going to go after Alyssa and Kyle. So at least this week, you can still play safe, and you can honestly probably play safe for another week. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, depending on how this goes, I don't know how a leftover, the 7 survive past this.
Yeah, so I wrote this down because there's a perfect scenario where you get the house split up to where you have, if this is from the leftovers perspective, if you have, the best case scenario is that you have a house that has Alyssa in it and another house that has Jasmine in it. And those are your 2 targets. Like, you somehow get Terrence to turn on Alyssa or someone, and you have them help target them. Worst case scenario is both those people win veto. Because then they either win veto or they take themselves off, and you're just guaranteed that a leftover goes up. Now, you could go the route of you take your chances in one house, and then you sacrifice someone in the other house, aka maybe a Kyle. But it all depends. So, like, maybe say Michael gets Alyssa and Jasmine. Now you have 2 targets that you can go after. If one of them pulls himself off as the veto, they can at least still target the R1 without killing themselves off with another. It's a really tight spot. Now, honestly,
It is.
I don't see. It's most likely that your leftover is going home this next week.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing. Michael has been okay. I'm not as Team Michael as I was, and the reason why is because you made a commitment to 7, and he is right. He is right that you would be the first target. Once they get to the 7, he would be the first target. I mean, one, it's his own fault for winning everything, but I mean, second thing is that he's just a very good player, and that's a compliment to him. But he wants to obviously get past 7. But here's the thing. Now that I think this twist changes how everybody was thinking. Because coming into this, Michael was planning to split up and take a shot at Monty or Joseph. He has vocally said he wants to take a shot at Joseph to get Taylor back on his side because Taylor's spending too much time with Joseph. And here's the thing. Michael and Terrence know the twist now. They know Terrence is HOH, Michael's HOH. It is a schoolyard pick, which I will give you credit. You did call it.
I called that too. I feel good on my prediction skills. I love this.
Yes. So it is a schoolyard pick. And if Michael really wants to show his hand, he can fill his team with leftovers to guarantee they break up. He can do that. Terrence, we all know, wants to go after Monty. But after this week, he now wants to go after Kyle and Alyssa for what happened with the whole veto situation. So Terrence can play it both ways. I do believe that leftovers are done after last night they had a meeting and all took pictures. They did the whole put your hand in leftovers on 3 thing. That was the last time we're going to see that because they're not making it past next week. I do see Monty, Joseph, one of those 2 going home. I would love to see Kyle. If we're losing a leftover, I hope it's Kyle. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I would see Kyle go first out of the leftovers. What's bad about this is Taylor has no idea that Michael, Kyle, and Brittany are working against her and Monty and Joseph and Turner. She doesn't know that, so I feel bad for her in that sense because if Michael goes the route I think he's going to go and break up the leftovers, his game is over. They will come after him next. He will be the first target on their list, especially, let's say that Monty doesn't go home or Joseph doesn't go home and they win HOH the next week. He'll be the first one to go after him and Brittany. So he needs to be very careful how he does this. But I think we can both agree on the one person we know, we don't know the picks, just to point that out. We don't know the picks. But I think you and I can agree right now, the one person we know that Michael will pick is Brittany.
Yeah, I would say so. Keep probably your number one ally in this house close to you, and also make sure that they don't go home. Because that's another thing with at least this twist is that you can kind of guarantee someone's safety if you're the head of the household. So if say that Terrence likes Taylor or someone, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
But say that Terrence likes one of these members and he wants to keep them safe. That's where you vote and keep them as part of your team. now you got to be wary in terms of who else is going to be in the house because, again, a veto can seal your fate in terms of it will, again, say that Michael picked Jasmine to go on the block. And somehow Jasmine wins a veto. Jasmine can take her off, and suddenly you have to put an alliance member up, and you're gonna probably anger the people that were in that alliance, no matter how it goes. So
Yeah.
I like this twist because kind of like the Festy Besties, it throws a wrench in everyone's game in a way, and it makes it fun because the power dynamics are going to change, the alliances are going to be twisted, and it's going to be really fun.
Now, I just saw this on Twitter, so I have to ask you, after all the crap that CBS has gotten, what if, for some reason...
I saw that tweet. I know what you're going about.
Yep. What if they split by race? What if it's the minorities on one side and the whites on the other? How bad would that look for CBS?
It would be very bad luck, but I doubt that happens. Because knowing that... Yeah. Knowing who some of these people's targets are and knowing that how dynamics are, I doubt that happens. It would be a horrible, very bad look, and maybe that's why they're doing the schoolhouse pick off feeds, just to make sure that kind of doesn't happen. But I doubt that would have happened naturally anyway, just with how relationships and friendships are in the house. So I just doubt that would have even happened.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw a prediction out, okay?
All right, hit me.
I'm gonna predict this. Do me a favor, go to your Twitter and type this out. So let's see if I'm correct whenever we get the feeds back. I'm very curious.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm very curious.
I'm gonna type. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write this down.
No, do it and then say it to me. I'm very curious. I'm gonna forget. Okay, so Michael, I'm gonna predict Michael picks Brittany. Kyle, Alyssa, and Monty. And Monty's his target.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick Turner. I'm not Turner. Terrence will pick Jasmine, Turner, just to be outside, because that's going to be freaking hilarious. Who's left?
That leaves you with Joseph and Taylor.
Okay, put those two there too. And I'm going to guess that Joseph is his target. No, I'm sorry. Joseph is his target. Okay. That's what I'm predicting.
All right.
I'm probably going to be way off.
All right. Just to make this a game and see who gets closest, I'm going to play this game.
Okay.
I'm going to say Michael, knowing that he wants a final three. He's had a final three with Brittany and Taylor.
Yeah.
I think that he picks Brittany and Taylor. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget myself.
Exactly, yeah.
I think...
While you're writing it down real fast, I will say the only reason why I'm saying that Michael's going to pick Kyle and Alyssa is because what he said on the show tonight. If Kyle and Alyssa are still in the house, he will not be the target. They will. That's the only reason why I'm thinking he would do that. But continue.
You know what? That would also I want to put that down because that would be a fun way for Michael to because he knows. I think he's aware of what the optics look like now. Now, what if he be the one to end that? That would be something that some jury members might like. So, and knowing that he has Brittany and Taylor on his side, it would work out. And then also knowing that the vote would be split. Say that it was Kyle and Alyssa on the block. Alyssa pulls herself down, and so he has to put Brittany up. Well, he knows that Taylor is going to vote with him.
Right.
And Alyssa is going to vote against him. Well, Michael has the tie. So, I'm going to go with the Alyssa Kyle stuff. I think that's a brilliant move.
Okay.
Knowing that Terrence sees Monty as a target, I think Monty is going to be his target with going into that house. And so essentially you get Jasmine, Joseph, and Turner on that side. So you still get your Jasmine Turner duo in the end of this. But I think the biggest change is that I'm going more with the Kyle Alyssa as the pure target, while Monty is the pure target for Terrence.
Okay. So you don't see, well, Terrence, obviously, yeah, he's not with the leftovers, so he would try to break them up. But do you see Michael going and taking a shot?
I could see it. And I think it would be better to go against someone like Kyle and Alyssa, because Alyssa, again, is a dangerous game player, while also kind of still masking that, this is still, I got you, Kyle, and Alyssa, I got you. It's going to get messy. Everything's going to get messy in all of this, and it's going to be fun. That's why I'm going to love this, because you're no matter what's going to happen, the leftovers are going to turn on each other in some aspect. Now they might still kind of stay together, but you're going to get your smaller alliances now forming, and your final twos really picking up their traction and their speed, and really taking control and playing for themselves and like a group.
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. That would be interesting if it happened that way. But I'm also thinking, if it happens, I guess I just don't see a situation to where all 7 leftovers make it past this double eviction. If they do, they deserve.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Best case scenario is somehow they get Alyssa and Jasmine out the door somehow,
which I don't see happening because
it can happen. But that's literally the best case scenario, and that's if you get Terrence on board.
But they can't talk to each other, remember?
That's imagining that the leftovers within each other, they know what they need to do is get, and maybe during this, because you saw them talking before the show ended, maybe some of them are scheming, like, all right, let's go with this, if you're picking me, make sure we get these 2 targets out. They could have done that easily. So
it gave them time also during the commercial when Julie announced it before the HOH to kind of meet. So let's hope that happened, because if it did, okay, let's just say for the heck of it, let's just throw this out there. I've seen it on Twitter. There's a fake rumor out there that I don't believe that they did divide by race. So let's just throw that out there just for fun, okay? Not really fun, but let's just throw that out there. Let's just hypothetically say it's true, okay?
Okay.
Let's say that on Michael you have Brittany, Kyle, Alyssa, Turner. And guys, if you're listening, that is a big if. Ty, we're being honest here. We don't know who these teams are yet. We have no idea, so this is just for fun. If it is Michael has Brittany, Kyle, Alyssa, Turner, I would assume Kyle and Alyssa will be the ones going up, right? Because he's not putting up Brittany.
That would be the target. Again, that would be the target. I think in that scenario, I think Michael would be okay taking a shot at going at Alyssa, but with Kyle as a secondary target. And honestly, it doesn't matter which one of those 2 gets out.
Yeah, which I think I wouldn't care either way. Which one of those 2 gone, they can go do whatever they want to do in the jury house. Then the other side, you would have Terrence, Monty. On Terrence's team, you would have Monty, Taylor, Joseph, Jasmine. I would assume, as you just said, his target would be Monty, but I assume he would also put up Joseph and Monty together.
Yeah,
I don't think he's that dumb to leave one of them off.
And that's or you can go for a back door.
Or you can go for a back door.
So now, like that one, I could see Jasmine stays safe because that's Terrence, and I think they're a bit closer. So say you go Monty, Taylor. One of them pulls themselves off. Say that Terrence's worst case scenario is Monty pulls himself off. Well, just backup target is Joseph
or Taylor, because Taylor put him up.
Yeah, and so but Taylor would be on the block in that scenario still. So you can go for either or.
Yeah. So like I said, I could see Kyle going home, and either Monty, Taylor, or Joseph going home. I just can't see Taylor going home in this double. I would assume it would. I would assume it'd be Monty, Joseph, Kyle, or Alyssa. Any combination of that would be leaving. I do see Taylor making it past the double. I don't see her winning, but then again, I could see this playing into a situation where she does win, not win the show, but win closer to get maybe a final 5, final 4, given how things are going. Because as you said, Michael, Brittany, and her have a final 3, as you said. We know Joseph, Monty, and Taylor are close. We know Jasmine and Taylor and Alyssa have gotten closer as of recent days. Alyssa told Taylor hey, you know what? You didn't put me up, and I appreciate that. I'm going to show that to you if I'm ever in power, or if I ever have anything where I can show it to you, I would. I don't see Alyssa voting her out, unless it came down to Kyle, obviously. Then obviously she would vote her out. But it's just going to be an interesting situation because... Go ahead.
Taylor's kind of playing the social version of Tyler in this aspect, where she is buddying up with everyone. She has her final 3 with Brittany and Michael. She probably has a final 3 with Monty and Joseph, if we're going to be honest with how close those 3 are. And now adding on this Alyssa one, it's like you're buddying up and you're making your social game the best it possibly can be. And I think that's going to be a benefit to her.
Yeah, now sticking with this racially divided theme just for a second. Remember, I did ask you earlier, do you think Michael takes a shot? Remember?
Yeah, I still think Michael takes that shot because.
But here's the thing. You're right, you can. But here's the thing. Michael is all about a jury at this point, and he's wanting to do whatever he can to make sure he wins 750 at the end, right? And he showed that tonight with his, I call it a pity vote to Indy. And he admitted, hey, Indy, here's the alliance I'm in, blah, blah, blah. He could also think, hey, look, if I go and take a shot at the leftovers, they're going to know I took a shot. And if it gets down to a jury vote between me and a non-leftover, they might be bitter that I'm the one that broke them up. And they might not give me the money. So he could be doing this strategically to where I put Kyle, Alyssa, Turner, and Brittany in my group, and I take a shot at the showmans. Let me have Terrence take a shot at the leftovers. So I don't have to do it, and my hands are clean. Mm-hmm. He could do that too. And that, honestly, would not be a bad strategy if you're Michael. That way your hands are clean because you technically didn't get a leftover out. That was Terrence. You put up the showmans to split up the showmans with the host of getting rid of Alyssa, right? That could be a strategy he's working. So that, even though it will look bad for CBS after what's been going on for the past couple of weeks, if you're Michael thinking game, and you want to save your butt and hide the fact you've been plotting against the leftovers, that would be a way to do it, I would think.
Yeah. I love this. This reminds me of NBA Twitter during the offseason. It's just pure speculation of how teams can be built, what they're going to do it, and I love it. I love it. I love the speculation, and I just had the idea. Imagine if Jasmine and Turner got split up into houses, and then they return, and Turner learns that Jasmine got evicted. Imagine how happy he would be.
I think he would do something stupid like run through the house with his underwear or something. He would do something stupid like that because he would celebrate.
I'm just thinking of, because I'm assuming that they're separated until the end of the evictions.
Yes, so the way Julie made it sound is they're playing 2 separate games for 1 week starting tonight, from Thursday till next Thursday.
Also, I'm going to be curious of how they're going to do this. The house in the backyard. They're going to get the Fire Festival tent. I just know it.
I maybe cots. No, CBS is too cheap for that. Probably like sleeping bags.
They're going to get sleeping bags. They're going to get tents. I'm curious of where they're back. Oh no! Oh no! They're going to give them a porta potty. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my god!
I legit hope that they give them a real bathroom and a real shower, at least for the outdoor people. But I would hate to be the indoor people because you don't get outside for a while.
You don't. It's gonna suck. I mean, so let me see. Before we get out of here, because it's late for us, let me ask you real fast. Final predictions. Who goes where?
Again, I'm gonna go with the predictions I did. Brittany, Taylor, and Alyssa and Kyle to Michael. Monty, Joseph, Jasmine, Turner to Terrence.
Okay.
And I'm going my prediction, just not knowing what any team is, I'm just gonna pick 2 players that are going to get, you think are going to be out by the end of the week. I'm going to say just not knowing the teams, not knowing anything, just 2 people that you think would be get out. You get a point for if you get at least 1.
Okay.
All right, I have my 2 in mind. I want you to have your 2 in mind before we say anything.
Okay, hold on, let me think. Shoot. Now I gotta think about veto now. Hold on. Okay, I got mine. Go for it.
Kyle and Monty.
Monty's on mine for sure. So I say Monty, And honestly, I could see Alyssa.
Okay. So we tie if Monty gets this.
I think
Or-
Monty's gone next week. I don't see a situation where he stays unless he wins
Yeah.
veto.
Yeah. And I guess your wild card, your wild card is going to be a veto. Who wins veto? Who wins a veto?
Michael, because he's playing in it.
Mike. I'm going to say
Oh.
Terrence. I'm going to say Terrence goes on a roll. I'm going to go with the head of household
Okay.
pattern.
All right.
I'm going to say Terrence goes on a roll. He starts winning.
I say, well, remember, there's two different vetoes being played. So I say Michael's definitely winning because he's won everything he's played in so far. So I definitely say Michael. And the other one, depending, I don't know where anybody is, but I would say the one with the other person, without knowing where anyone is, with the best shot, I would say is God.
Because they're all
You know
playing.
what?
Everyone is playing in the veto.
Yeah,
Everyone is playing in the
exactly.
veto.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say Michael, yes, because he's playing, and then I'm gonna say, just for fun, just to see what would happen, Monty, just to see what the hell would happen. And if Monty wins the veto, Joseph goes home.
I'm gonna say for my second one. I'm gonna say Turner. I'm gonna go with the tease.
Really?
I'm just gonna go with the tease.
Okay.
Tease of
What I wouldn't be
Terrence and
upset
Turner.
about. I would not be upset about it. I will say, going into this, I think the people that are 100% safe, depending on which side, still 100% safe, I think will be Jasmine.
I
And-
don't think Jasmine's safe. I don't think Jasmine's safe.
I think no. I think she might be if she's on Terrence's side. She would be.
So all right. I'm gonna say Brittany. I'm gonna say Brittany is safe.
Oh, 100%.
Assuming that she gets on Michael's side, which I think that's gonna be the case. I think her and Taylor are honestly safe.
I say I agree with you that Brittany's 100% safe. I don't see a situation where she goes at all, unless for some reason she's the renom, which I don't see how that would happen. And then I say Taylor safe and Turner.
Turner was my third one because I just think Turner doesn't have any bad blood outside of Jasmine,
Yeah, exactly.
and he's not really
So-
he's not been a threat.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. But before we get out of here, any final thoughts to this episode or to this twist to this week?
worst case. All right. So last one. Worst case scenario has to be the evictions of Taylor and Turner. That's worst case.
Agreed. 100% agree with that.
Absolute worst case for me.
Agreed.
That'd be worst case for some people's games and just honestly the fun of the house.
Yeah. For me, the worst case scenario is Turner and Taylor leaving.
Taylor.
Best case scenario for me is Kyle leaving, Alyssa leaving,
Or Jasmine.
mainly, and Jasmine. Honestly, I would have loved to see Michael go to the double. I really would have. I really, truly would have loved to see Michael go. I just cannot stand how he is playing right now. I just don't like the fact that he is working against an alliance that literally saved him because he wasn't even part of it. He was just brought into it. And without that alliance, I think he would have gone home by now. So that's my view on that. So and that is why I rather see him go. Would have loved to see him go in the double, but he is safe, as you know. So we'll see how things go. Are you gonna stay up to see who is paired with who?
No, I'm not. I gotta go to bed, man. I got stuff in the morning. I have a 10 o'clock meeting I gotta do. I gotta go to bed. Maybe if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll check to see what Twitter's saying. I'll do a quick glance at the feeds, but I'm going back to bed. I can't stay up for this, unfortunately.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to let you get to bed. So let's end this podcast. We will, first of all, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. We'll be back next week or Monday or Tuesday, depending whenever we get this edited, to talk about what happened in Sunday's episode. Who split with who? What the nomination process is like? What they're thinking? Who knows what's going to happen?
And then we're also, and since that's kind of how I'm assuming that this is going to be a fast track as always. So usually our Monday's episode, which is usually recorded on Sunday, that's going to be our spoiler episode. We're going to talk about everything that's happened up to that point on the feeds and the episode. And then our Thursday released on Friday episode, which is this episode. These are going to be episodes that we don't know what's going on. We're not going to spoil if we knew who won the head of household based off the feeds. We wouldn't say so, but This is just up to date to the end of the episode. So that's just to give you guys a format of what we are doing with our podcast. And I think it's a good format, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. So highlights of the week. I mean, you had Floaty Sex. You had you had Indy rocking out to a new punk song. You had Skid in Skid and who? I forgot who it was.
Fancy.
Fancy,
Skid and
yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, and you got Terrence's butt crack showing on live to the world. I mean, it was fun. It was a good week. So that is the week that was Big Brother for all of us.
So we had Balloon Gate.
Oh, we didn't get it
on the show, but that was this week. That happened this week. So Balloon Gate was that. I think that's a highlight of the week that we gotta mention.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was a lot of fun stuff this week.
Yeah, there was. It was a lot of fun. Oh, fun fact, before we let you go, I had to say this. Whenever Brittany went into the have-not, and she was like, I gotta go away from Indy and this noise, I saw the butterfly floating, and I was like, there it is! That's the one! Okay, we're done.
Oh, and then also, all right, hold on. We're gonna make this a segment. Your moment of the week. Your moment of it. Your favorite moment of the week. Who is your winner?
Oh God, it had to be Jasmine and her stupid birthday party of tell me one thing you like about me, and then Turner's reaction like, kill me right now, please.
All right, honorary mention is the most obvious alliance meeting of all time. Now that might not be funny, like from what they were saying, but just the view of it and think of the optics, that was just hilarious to me. But I'm going to go Balloon Gate with just how hilarious that was in terms of the reaction, and Turner just kind of saying it actually legit, not trying to hurt her feelings, but just the mayhem of Balloon Gate.
Yes.
That's my moment of the week.
I don't know if you went back to watch that, but that was so funny. I died laughing when I saw it. So yeah, we're going to make that a segment every Thursday. Well, before we end the episode, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about our favorite moments of the week. Yep. All right. So any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I got it. I'm tired. I'm excited to see, because again, this house is going to get so mixed up. There's a strong player is probably going home next week.
Yeah.
A strong player is probably going home.
Yep, and I'm very curious to see who that strong player is going to be. Like I said before, both our money is on Monty. We'll see if he survives past the double. But thank you, Ty, for joining me as always. It is late here in Texas. We're both tired, and I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since like 4 o'clock. I'm probably
Go eat.
Definitely going to do that. So thank you, Ty, as always. You can follow Ty on Twitter at the Ty Jäger on all social media. You can follow me on Twitter for your TV needs at the Stephen A on Twitter, and for your political needs, feel free to follow me on there on Stephen Reports on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, you can follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Fwrd Axis Live. As always, we do appreciate you guys. Give us a star rating wherever you get your podcast. Let us know, tweet us, and of course, help us get to 1,000 followers. We're trying to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, so help us get there. For Ty Jäger, and thank you. Oh, before I forget, gotta thank David Bradford. Thank you so much for mixing and producing this episode. We couldn't do it without David, so thank you, David, for that. So for David Bradford, for Ty Jäger, I'm Stephen Michael saying good night, God bless, and we will see you next time on Fwrd Axis News, where the news is always fair and balanced. So long, everybody.
Thank you for joining Fwrd Axis Live. Hear this episode and more wherever you listen to your podcasts. Visit www.fwrdaxis.com to get the latest news happening in our world today. Follow us on Twitter at Fwrd Axis Live